Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Facebook Live tonight, which is Wipe Out Negative Thoughts and Your Negative Results. My name is Joanne Lysiak. I am the founder and lifestyle and life transformation coach at Empower Coaching Network, and I help aspiring coaches, practitioners, and high vibe men and women reach their dreams. I help them reach their aspirations, get really clear what they truly want inside, then release the limiting beliefs, get the right mindset that is aligned with their aspirations, and then set some purposeful goals and take inspired action to achieve it, and then, of course, celebrate. So I'm happy to be here today because this is part one of my part 3 series. So I want to give a shout out to people that are here live. So thank you for being here. I so appreciate you. If you would, I'd like to have this to be a dialogue. So if we can have a conversation going back and forth. So if you would, it'd be great if you could just enter your name, where you're from, and then some comments, likes, shares, thumbs up, and also if you would write any questions that you have as well, because I'm really here to answer questions as well. So I want to make sure that I help you as best I can, and I can do that if we have a great dialogue and conversation going. Now, if you're listening to the replay, thank you so much. I love the replayers. And if you would, just also put in your name, comments, same thing, likes, loves, hearts, and share this, but write questions. That's really important for me. This is going to be a 3-part series. So we've got a lot to cover today, about 20 minutes, and we've got a lot to cover tomorrow and then on Thursday, and I would love your input. So again, if you would please enter in where you're from, and then we can get started here. So again, welcome to the Facebook Live. And this is a really important topic because you can't miss it. There's so much negativity going on right now. Just look around what's happening in the world, look what's happening in the US and all the negativity that's out there. So it's really important to really get a handle on negativity and turn it into positivity, because you will get different outcomes when, whatever your thinking is, whether you're thinking positive or negative. Hey, Kim, how are you? Good to see you here from California. Dealing with some seemingly negative things in life, but I know something wonderful will come, yet it's been interesting. That's a good way to put it. I love how you reframe that, Kim, and I know you personally. You're one of our coaches, and so you know exactly how to frame things so it's more positive than negative, because you have a choice in this and how you're going to communicate what's really going on with you and what you create from it. So what I wanted to start here is let's talk about negative thoughts, because your negative thoughts create negative results. Positive thoughts create positive results. There's a direct correlation between that. So it's important to know that you have a choice, and your choice is, where are you spending your time? Are you going to spend the time on the negative side and then get the negative outcomes down the road? Or are you going to spend your time on the positive side and then get the positive outcomes, which is what you really want? So did you ever notice that there are people, or maybe this was you or currently is you, where you're kind of like the glass is half empty. You see the glass is half empty. You see that there's the more negative side to it. Or are you the person who sees the glass as half full, that there's more opportunities, there's all good, things happen for me for my benefit? Do you consider yourself maybe unlucky? Or do you know people who consider themselves unlucky and who keep saying, I'm unlucky, I have bad luck? Well, we're going to bust through those myths, because those are myths, that people think that they're unlucky and that they have bad luck, because you really do create it with your thoughts and with your thinking. So let's kind of delve in a little bit more with your thoughts and with your thinking. So as I mentioned, negative thoughts will give you negative results. Positive thoughts will give you positive results. And so when you put the thought out there, the thought is something that turns into a belief. It turns into a belief every time you keep thinking it. So a belief is a thought you keep thinking. So here's something to consider. Is that thought your original thought, Or did it come from somebody else? Were you influenced by media perhaps? Were you influenced by conversations? Were you influenced by the news reports? Were you influenced by Facebook? Were you influenced by an influential person who said that this is the new trend? They'll establish trends, they'll establish the economy, they'll establish interest rates. So are you listening to the trends and then you take that on as your belief? So that's something to consider. So you start with a thought, then you keep thinking it, and then it turns into a belief. So be really cautious of what you pick up from other people, because their thoughts, if you keep repeating it, will become your belief. And here's the funny thing, how this could even happen. There's, songs that have obviously lyrics to it, that have messages and meanings in it. And there was a song that was on the radio, and I just, wasn't really paying attention to it. But I started thinking about that song and singing the song. And then I realized what the songs were, what the words were. And it was like, wow, that is not what I want to pick up. And I want to keep thinking that over and over again, because I do not want to create the end result of that. So you really have to think about where you're picking these things up from. So starting out with your thought turns into a belief. The belief then create your action. Your belief causes you to do something. It causes you to act and take action. And then when you take action and you do it over and over and over and over again, it becomes a habit and a pattern, and that becomes ingrained, and then that turns into the results. So that's how you end up with the results. So it starts with the thinking. So you really want to be aware of that. Now, where am I getting my information from? I mentioned on my last Facebook Live, if you happen to catch it, that I started out in corporate America, so I have a very much business, background, but I'm very spiritual. So I'm right-brained and left-brained together, and I function both ways, and but I'm spiritually based. So I look at things spiritually, but I also can look at things with a business mindset as well. So if you're a person that has a business mindset, you might consider this book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. You can see that, Think and Grow Rich. This is a book that is the most successful people in the world read this book. It is kind of like the Bible for successful business people and successful people in the world. So you're going to get information, what they call the success principles in this book, which talks about thoughts are things. In fact, Napoleon Hill, one of his chapters, the first chapter is Thoughts Are Things. And he talks about how thoughts become things. So everything starts out with a thought, and then it becomes into a creation, or it becomes into an invention, Thomas Edison. So it starts out with the thought. Now, again, if you're a business person, this guy, Zig Ziglar, see you at the top. Zig Ziglar, famous guy, people study him, and he talks about success principles, which is starting out with your thought. In fact, what I love about him, if you can see this on the book cover, he's the one that talks about stinking thinking. What is stinking thinking? It's staying in the negative, constantly thinking about the negative. What if this happens bad? What if that happens bad? Or you're just focused on the negative all the time, and so you develop stinking thinking. And then he talks about also hardening of the attitudes. So he talks about how your attitude really is the key to a successful life. It's your attitude, not your aptitude. So these are two books to consider. Now, if you're a spiritually based person, you probably love something like Abraham Hicks. You probably love something like Prentice Mulford, Thoughts Are Things. Really great book, but he talks about how thoughts become things and how it shapes your world, shapes your outcomes. So those are some books that you can really look to and get some inspiration from those books by reading that. They're just amazing, very powerful books that will really help you with your thinking. So again, stinking thinking, which I like to use that, do I have stinking thinking at times? Am I in a spiral downward? Do I get caught up in the thinking? So you want to check that. So those of you that are listening in, where are you with your thinking? How do you monitor yourself? What do you do to check yourself to see where you are with your thinking? Because our subconscious thoughts kind of run the show. They're automatic. That's how you breathe. That's how you walk. That's how you move. It's automatic. You don't think about it. Well, your Subconscious is the same for your beliefs and your thoughts. It automatically gives you the beliefs and thoughts if you're not conscious about it and monitoring it. So you've got to have both. You've got to monitor, but you want to also put in the good into your subconscious so it kind of takes over the show when you're not conscious and gives you all the good stuff as well. And this takes time. It takes conscious effort in it. So anyway, if you would, Kim, give me some ideas here of what you do to monitor yourself, to monitor your thoughts and your thinking. So your thoughts are like, think about it like a magnet. Because you're a magnetic being. This is very spiritual, but it's also very scientific. This is from quantum physics. So we live in a magnetic universe, and so we are a magnet. So think about this, that you are a magnet. You've got a big magnet on your head, and you are picking up what's out there. So you're picking up the positive thoughts or you're picking up the negative thoughts all day long. You're just picking them up. So you're picking them up through conversations. You're picking them through TV, through news, movies, radio, music. You're picking it up from your environment. So when you're picking this up as a magnet, it attaches onto you and it keeps attaching onto you. So what do you have predominantly? What have you picked up predominantly? So it's kind of like a chain. And then as you're picking up all this kind of causes you to spiral downward if it's all negative. So Kim, let's see what you got here. I stop and watch what I'm thinking about. When seemingly negative things happen, I look to see what I was thinking before it happened. Very good, Kim. Awesome. Yeah, you really do. You've got to be in charge. You're the one in charge of the thoughts. You're in charge, kind of like, think of it as like you're the guard. You're the guard of your body and you're the guard of your mind and your field and what you want to pick up. And so you do have to monitor. You do have to see. And if something funky happens, you want to look back and say, what did that come from? Where did that come from? And then go back and correct it and change your thinking. So you want to always monitor. So consider yourself a magnet. And this is very much law of attraction. You attract what you're thinking. But again, this comes from success-minded people, speakers, authors out there. In fact, let's go back to Henry Ford. Henry Ford's, one of his famous quotes was, if you think you can or you think you can't, either way you're right. It's the thinking that makes it so. So again, it's your belief, your mindset. And one of my favorite ones is Earl Nightingale. You become what you think about most of the time. So what are you thinking about most of the time? Again, you're that magnet, you're picking it up and it's sticking and it's staying and it's a link. And so you're forming your whole results based on those thoughts. So be really cautious of that. And law of attraction is you attract your vibration. You attract what the vibration is of your thoughts and your beliefs. So what's behind it? Really important to do that. There's a really cute acronym that I want to share with you, and it's, are you a SNIOP? So are you guys a SNIOP? And what a SNIOP is you're susceptible to the negative influences of other people. So susceptible to the negative influences of other people. Now you could be a SPIOP as well, susceptible to the positive influences of other people. My friend told me that. He changed that acronym, and I really like that. But if you're a SNIOP, then you're picking up the negative from other people, and you're being influenced by them. It's contagious because you pick it up. And if you really want to delve into it on a deep, deep, deep level, I highly recommend the book Thoughts Are Things by Prentice Mulford, because he'll talk about it in ways that you probably hadn't even thought about before. But let's just talk about other people and how you can pick it up from other people. Maybe your mom said this. Did your mom say to you that, if you hang out with that person, you're going to become just like them? If you hang out with them, you're going to be doing the same things that they do. People are going to associate you the same way. So why did your mom say that? Why did your dad say that? It was because it is true. You are going to become that. Another saying that's out there in the personal development industry is you'll have the income of your 5 best friends. So if you're going to get their income, you're going to get their poverty. You're going to get their problems. You're going to get their health. or their lack of health. You're going to get their bad relationships. So if you hang out with people, you are picking up their energy like a magnet, and it is attaching onto you, and you're becoming them. So that is true. You're going to pick up their income or lack of income. So Kim, let's see what you said here. When challenging things happen, I call my positive friends to be a spy op. Yay! That is a good one. You've got support people there. So you want to reach out to those positive people to help you. Now, they're not going to want to hear all your negative stories, I'll tell you that. But what they will be there to do is help you get positive, because nobody wants to hear your problems. You need to understand that, because a lot of people think it's important to dump and to vent on another person, and a person may listen to that for just a little bit of time, but if they're a highly positive person, and if they're highly conscious and highly aware of their thoughts and their vibration and their energy, they're not going to let you dump. Because here's the thing, you dumping and venting is not good for you, because you're reliving it and you're getting deeper and deeper and deeper, and you're attaching more and more energy onto it, and you're also hurting the other person who's reliving it with you and picking up that energy as well. We kind of like, I'm not picking it up. So what you want to do is you want to reach out to a positive person so they can help you become positive. And that's what my friends and I do. We help each other become positive. But if we start talking about it, out of habit, somebody's going to go, stop it, cancel. What are you doing? What are you saying? So I'm going to be giving some tips. So hang on till the end, because I'm going to give you some great tips that you can use as well. And it really works. So be a spy op, be susceptible to positive influences of other people, but watch out for the SNIOPs, because they just love, when people are negative, they just love jumping and love venting and blasting you with negative and thinking that that's helping, but that's not helping them. And if you notice, it doesn't help them. Then they get into a spiral downward, and they literally spiral downward because they got way too much negative on them from the venting, and they get deeper and deeper and relive it. So you don't want to let people vent. And also, be aware of who you are hanging out with. It comes a time where you have to ask yourself the question, is the relationships that you have, the friendships that you have, are they serving you? Are they constructive for you, for your personal growth, for your advancement, for your life, for the results that you want? If you want to be highly successful, you're going to try to pick 5 successful people, so that you will associate with them. You will take on their energy. You will take on their thoughts. You'll take on their thinking, their beliefs, their actions, and their habits, and then their results. It's that contagious. So really be aware of it. So look at your end results. Always look at your end results, because the end results always speak. Your outcomes and your results always speak, and will tell you what you created, what you started with. It's kind of like reverse engineering. This is a concept that I use in my coaching program. Reverse engineering. You look at the end, and the end is going to give you the actual results, black and white, what's going on, and then you trace it back to the start, reverse engineer it, and where were you thinking? What did you start out with? So be aware of that, but really be aware of everything that's in your environment. And this is one of the steps to change your thinking. So we're getting into some tips now on how you can change your thinking. So the first one is to monitor your environment. So again, if you just joined us, give a shout out. Let me know where you're from. And also if you have any questions, because we're having a conversation here. So monitor your environment. This is really important, because you have to be the guard. You have to be the person that's in charge of yourself, in charge of what you're picking up. So monitor your environment. So let's talk about what your environment is. Well, we talked about people. So are you susceptible to the negative influence of other people? Are your friends negative? Are your associates negative? Are they positive? You want to make that choice. If you're hanging out with negative people all the time, your life is not going to be what you want it to be, unless you want negative. But if you want to have a really positive, successful life, you want to be hanging out with those people. You want to have mentors that are that way. You want to have coaches that are that. You want to have friends, acquaintances, coworkers. Find the coworkers that are very positive, that have what you want, or that are on the same path and you getting what you want. Now also look at yourself, monitor yourself. What are your thoughts? Here's the exercise. for the day, for the hour. Monitor your thoughts. Be aware of what you're thinking. Be aware of how you're feeling. So in a given day, if you're working on something and all of a sudden you found that your energy is going somewhere different, it's going south, then ask yourself, what popped in? What's going on? Where did that come from? So monitor how you feel about certain tasks. Maybe certain things trigger you. Maybe certain people say something that triggers you, which is why you get upset, or maybe why you get sad. So monitor that. You need to be in charge and figure it out, so that if you know that something triggers you and you know something started the spiral downward for you in the negative thinking, then you can eliminate it. You can totally eliminate it. And that becomes more powerful for you and empowers you. So let's talk about an extension of people and conversations. You know, in the book, Thoughts Are Things, Prentice Mulford really talks about how conversations can really turn your energy level. It can make you acidic. It can make you sick if you're thinking about what the conversation is, because you are, if you're a part of it. So if somebody is talking about how sick they are, and they're telling you about that, you know, they're sick, this person's sick, that person's sick, that person's sick, you're picking up that vibration, you're picking up that energy, and that is basically going into your field, which is going into your body. So being surrounded by conversations like that are not positive and won't get you positive results. If you want to be healthy, hang out with healthy people. See what they do. See how they live. Hang out with me, because I'm super healthy and I'm super positive and I really take good care of myself, and I do the work to take care of myself and to stay that way, because I know the association. But monitor your conversations. Monitor, you know, if you're sitting on a bus, a public bus, I live in the city, and if I take the bus into the city and I hear conversations, most of the conversations are negative. Most of the time people are talking about other people. They're criticizing, they're condemning, or they're complaining. And those three things you don't want to do. You don't want to criticize others or yourself. And that's a big one for yourself. You don't want to complain. You don't want to criticize, condemn, or complain. So don't condemn. Don't talk about other people. Don't talk nasty about them, because that will come back to you. That energy comes to you. And then again, don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Don't talk about the negative. Don't complain about something because there was some great positive. So Kim, what have you got to say there? On a bus, wear headphones. I think I will, Kim. That's a good idea. I think I will do that. So you got to protect yourself. You got to be planned. Go plan with a plan. But what I do is I read my books. So I try not to pick up anything. I just read the books and I get deeper into my books. I'm always prepared with a book. So be aware of conversations, because you are picking up that energy as well. The other thing is TV, media. A good tip. In fact, for today, those of you that are listening on the replay, how about TV? How about turning off the TV? I'm going to give you this challenge. Turn off TV for a week. Turn off TV for 2 days, 3 days. If you turn off TV for a week or 3 days, you're going to notice you have more time. You're going to notice you feel more positive. You're going to feel like you are more motivated, and you're more energized, and you can get things done. I don't even know when the last time it was that I turned on my TV. Quite frankly, it could be months. It probably was months, because I was watching Dancing with the Stars. That's the only show that I like to watch. So that was a couple months ago. So my TV doesn't go on. And I get so much done, and I'm so much more positive from it. But look at TV. The news, my gosh, when I was a kid and we had to watch the news and report back in school, and I was in grammar school, I didn't even like watching the news at that time because it was so negative. And I thought to myself, this is all negative stuff. It's never positive. And why am I reporting it? It's just all negative. So, I don't watch the news. Do I catch up on stuff? Absolutely. But I don't let the replay spin me in a spiral downward. So I monitor my thinking by what I'm watching on TV, also what I'm listening to. The music that I'm listening to, I'm very picky about that, because there's a different vibration to certain music, and it again attaches onto you, and either is positive for you or negative for you. So look at TV, look at media. Who else joined us? Hi, Catherine. Glad you're here. The Cubs, yes, I hear you there, girl. I was doing that. I live by Cubs Park, and I can see outside my window the Cubs play. So good choice. Watch the Cubs. Watch something positive and fun. So watch out and what you're putting into you through TV and through radio. Another thing is you want to look at your lifestyle. You know, I'm a lifestyle coach. I'm a wellness lifestyle coach as well as life transformation. And so I look at lifestyle. It's really important. What is your environment? What's your lifestyle? Because your lifestyle actually is in charge of or responsible for your outcome in your health and in your wellness and in your well-being. So if you want to have good outcomes, you want to look at your lifestyle. So what do I consider lifestyle is, are you moving your body? This is really important because when you're sitting for a long period of time, your energy becomes stagnant, and stagnant energy makes you feel depressed. It makes you feel low. If you want to be more positive, move your body. Go walk, ride your bike, go for maybe a jog, go do kayaking in summer, go dancing. You know, we've got outdoor dancing in Chicago. That's a great way to move your body, and you will feel so happy. When you're dancing and you're spinning around and having a good time, you're increasing your positivity. Your vibration is going up. So move your body. That's one of the elements of lifestyle. Another element is, are you drinking enough water? Because drinking enough water, if you're dehydrated, you're going to be feeling kind of low and down in the dumps as well. So be aware of that. Another thing with your lifestyle that's really important is the food that you eat. The food that you eat will make you positive or negative. There's all kinds of studies out there where they changed the food. It was in Wisconsin, in a school district in Wisconsin, and it was kids that were inner city kids, really bad behavior problems. Their parents weren't around for them, and they changed their food. They gave them organic food, and it totally changed the way the kids behaved. They started becoming A students. They started being happier. They started changing the way they acted in school. So be aware of what you're eating. So those are just 3 that you can look at with your lifestyle. But I've got 8 that I always teach to my clients. But those are some that you want to look at. The next one is change your physiology. So move your body, get up, jump up and down, move your hands, move your feet. That's one. The other thing is smile. You know, smile. When you smile, it uplifts you and takes you from negative to positive. Laugh. Go watch a funny movie. Go rent a funny movie. Go see something funny on YouTube. But go to a comedy club. That will change. So changing your physiology is really important as well. That's another one to do. That's another tip that I'm going to encourage you to think about. So the first one was monitor, turn off the TV, monitor your conversations and who you're hanging out with. The second one is to look at your environment, your physiology, change your physiology, do some moving. And the third one is, this is a really important one. And I want to know if you know this one and if you use it. But if you're going to say something and you blurted it out before you thought about it, because you should always think before you speak so that you can reframe something and not blurt out something negative. But if you happen to do that and you blurt out something negative and you catch yourself, you say cancel, cancel. So you catch yourself and you go cancel, cancel. So for instance, if I'm saying, I don't want to be tired. I don't want to be tired. And I'm like, oh, why did I say that? I just said be tired. So I go cancel, cancel. No, I want to be energized. So you cancel out something. Or I don't want to get fat. Then you cancel that out. Cancel, cancel. So you cancel anything that you say. And literally you cancel it out. And you can say that when other people are saying something in your head. You wouldn't say that in front of them because you might offend them, but you can say that in your mind. So if somebody is saying, oh, this person did this and that and this and that, and I don't like them, and I was so upset with them, and who do they think they are, and yet, you can't walk away. In your mind, go cancel, 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 cancel. And that'll cancel it out, and you won't pick that up. You could just wipe yourself clean. I'm not picking it up. Cancel, 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 cancel. But that's another tip. So those are 3 tips that you can use today that will change your thinking. So tomorrow we're going to meet up again. We're going to meet up at the same time, 5:30. And I'm also going to encourage you, if you haven't registered, to get the links. In an email, I'm going to send you the 3-part video series for you to watch. So register for that. So replayers, if you want to get an email with the 3 video series, then sign up for that. There's going to be a link on this post for you to do that so that you can get the video series. But we're meeting up tomorrow, same time, same place at 5:30, and then also on Thursday. And I'm going to share with you more tips and more information so that you can change your thinking, change the results, and get the results that you want in your life. So sign up for that so you get the free video series. And if you want to change your life, change your thinking, change your results, I have a couple spots left for my coaching program. So if you're interested, you can private message me, or you can click on the link to get into my schedule and have a discovery session. So everybody, I look forward to talking to you tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here. And again, if you could share this with anybody who will get value from this, feel free to do that. And give me some hearts, likes, and comments and questions. And I will meet up with you tomorrow. Thank you so much for being here. I so appreciate it. And change your thinking. You now can see that the glass is half full. Talk to you later. Bye, everybody.